Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the International School of Tanganyika's graduation ceremony for the class of 2019. Before we begin, I would like to remind you we have a photographer who will be taking pictures throughout the ceremony. We ask you to keep to your seats so that he can take photographs and so that you do not block the view of others. Digital photographs will be shared with you a few days after today's ceremony. Also, please be reminded to turn your mobile phones off or keep them on silent. We hope very much that you enjoy this ceremony and shared memories as we celebrate IST's class of 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we welcome the IST faculty. Thank you and welcome, fellow faculty members. Please be seated. If you could please turn your attentions to the screens here at the front as we welcome the class of 2019. After the class has proceeded in, please remain standing for the Tanzanian national anthem.
Thank you. Be seated, please. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to parents, relatives, invited guests, faculty and staff, members of the IST Board, the IST Alumni Association, and our soon-to-be IST graduates. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate the achievements of the class of 2019. I would like to begin today by offering some thanks. Firstly, to our parents, relatives, and guests in the audience today. We really appreciate your trust in IST, and it has been a great honor working with these amazing students. Great schools rely on strong partnerships, and it has been a pleasure working collaboratively with our community to provide these students with opportunities to be challenged, supported, and inspired. I would also like to thank the faculty and staff members at IST who have all contributed to the journey these students have undertaken. Thank you for the commitment you have made to the growth and development of each of your students. This has truly been a team effort, and seeing these amazing young people on stage really makes all of these efforts worthwhile. Ceremonies like this are one of the few occasions in our lives where we come together to celebrate the passage from one significant stage of life to another. Today is a celebration of all of your hard work and effort and a culmination of your student experiences at IST. Celebrate this day for what it truly represents: the recognition of years of planning, friendships, joys, hardships, success, failure, all combined with love and support and rolled into one school experience. This ceremony is an opportunity to reflect before turning to your next chapter and continuing your life's journey. Enjoy this opportunity to contemplate how IST and the experiences you have had so far have helped you to become the people you are today and the people you will become tomorrow. Following today's ceremony, each of you will leave this stage as IST alumni. As alumni, you will carry with you our hopes that all of your dreams and aspirations will come true. You will continue to represent this school around the world as a defining example of the value of an IST educational experience. I am confident that your efforts here ensure that you are uniquely placed to be change makers and to improve the world around us. We all know that you will go on to accomplish great things, and we are excited for you to stay connected with the school and to continue to support future generations of IST students. In closing, I trust that you will enjoy this afternoon's graduation ceremony. I want you to be proud of all that you have accomplished, because we are very proud of all of you. Thank you, and congratulations.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the International School of Tanganyika's class of 2019 graduation ceremony. This year's ceremony coincides with the school's 55th anniversary. Before you on stage are the 56 members of the class of 2019. After a grueling month of studying and exams, their smiles and laughter have returned, and they're finally able to relax. Although, after 12 years of programmed study, they have reported that they're not exactly sure what to do with their free time now. Their personal journeys started in either 2000, 2001, and they each have their own narrative. To provide some context, if we look back to 2001, when most of them were born, Apple had released the first iPod. I didn't say iPad, I said iPod. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was one of the top movies of the year. The Xbox was released. Here in Tanzania, Benjamin Mkapa was president, and IST was actually in the first year, full year of the middle years program. They've experienced a rapid acceleration in new technologies and dramatic changes in our global landscape throughout their lifetime. Let's just focus on the things that really matter in their day-to-day lives as members of the class of 2019. Shall we start with Netflix? Netflix progressed from a mail-order DVD rental to worldwide streaming services, which has provided young people with a compelling new tool for procrastination. Or shall we say binge watching? Well, it might not just be young people that engage in these activities. Game of Thrones went from a 694-page novel to a highly successful HBO series. Though Uber was only founded when these graduates were 8 years old, it's quickly become their preferred mode of transportation due to its ease of use and affordability. Finally, an app that made its debut just 9 years ago and was started by a 26-year-old entrepreneur as a simple platform for photo sharing now has 1 billion users. 56 of them are seated behind me. As you may have guessed, I'm referring to Instagram. It's safe to say that the group has embraced the blur between their offline and virtual lives created by the rise of social media. And it's these very tools that will enable this group to stay connected as they disperse throughout the world. Next year, you will find these graduates who come from 19 different countries in Korea, Australia, the UK, the United States, the Netherlands, Canada, India, Germany, and those that are taking a gap year will likely be global nomads. Members of the class have taken various paths to get here today. Some of them recently arrived in Dar es Salaam to finish out their high school careers, while others have spent their entire academic careers at IST. So let's see what the group looks like. I ask all of you to stand up. And you're going to participate in this exercise. So, when I call out a time frame when you joined the school, you can sit down. All right? All of you that joined IST within the last 2 years, please sit down. If you joined the school in grades 9 or 10, please sit down. If you joined the school in grades 7 and 8, please sit down. If you joined the school in grades 5 or 6, please sit down. In grades 3 or 4, if you joined the school in grades 1 or 2, please sit down. So, I believe Ronek was the first one for this group in 2006 to join the school. These two standing have been at IST for their entire academic careers. They are 100% Twiga. They've seen hundreds of teachers and students come and go through the years, and while IST's population is transitory, these two will finally be moving on to their second school in a few months. Congratulations. Sit down. Today's rite of passage is a turning point in their personal narrative. They each have dreams and aspirations for their futures. Among them are future designers, marine biologists, economists, entrepreneurs, biomedicists, computer scientists, social workers, engineers, neuroscientists, journalists, conservationists, technologists, and diplomats. Whatever they decide to do in the coming years, we are confident that they are bound to fulfill their potential and improve the world. Thank you.
Honorable guests,
respected faculty and board members of IST, anxious and very deservedly proud parents, class of 2019, and friends, a very good afternoon to all of you today. The word alumna is defined as a group of graduates or former students of a specific school, college, or university. Being an IST alum is one of my most honored titles. I've spent some wonderful years at this institution, learned and achieved, thrived and experienced, never regretted, and very fortunate indeed. Alumni and their achievements are our wealth of resources and an inspiration to future graduates of IST. It is a wonderful feeling giving a little something back to IST, whether it is support or advice, experiences, connection, even a simple hello from wherever you are. Most alumni remember their experiences, and others make friendships that will last a lifetime. Some are excited to part their own ways, start afresh and anew, and others still don't have a clue. What you will hold on to are feelings that you will cherish from today's graduation ceremony: pride, relief, exhilaration, and gratitude. This memory will last forever and is one that you all share together as class of 2019. As you, the graduates, leave today with the turning of tassels and diplomas in hand, you are officially IST alumni. As past president of the IST alumni, I would like to congratulate the class of 2019, and we welcome you all to the IST alumni community. Not many are given the opportunity of studying at an international school or have been able to build an international family, one that you will have for life. Each one of us is well-rounded, full of rich culture and diversity, open-minded, and is a risk-taker. So my soon-to-be fellow alumni, I hope your dreams take you to the corner of your smiles, to the highest of your hopes, to the windows of your opportunities, and to the most special places your heart has ever known. Congratulations, class of 2019, and a very warm welcome on board the IST alumni. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce the International School of Tanganyika, class of 2019 salutatorian, Zizjun Zhou, who graciously allows us to call him George. I first met George as a student in my DP history class almost 2 years ago. Since then, I've had the pleasure of watching him learn, think, and grow as an historian. He didn't need very much of my help with this. From the start, George showed an innate ability to make connections and build context, no matter the topic. In every discussion and learning experience, he shared what he knew, whether names, dates, and statistics, or interesting asides, such as quotes from Chairman Mao's Little Red Book or Khrushchev's musings on Cold War Berlin. George also challenged himself and others to increase their understanding through fearless questioning, a quality that no doubt contributed to him winning this year's TOK award. George is also someone who strives to improve his community and the world around him. He has demonstrated this devotion by demanding conscientious action for the environment with IST's first Green Manifesto, and by serving his long-standing membership in IST Student Council, including being the president this year. Today, he serves his community and the class of 2019 one more time as salutatorian. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Zizjun Zhou.
Beloved parents, dear teachers, friends and families, welcome to the class of 2019 graduation. Today is a day of cheers and tears. it is a day to celebrate the many achievements of a tremendous class that I am truly honored to be a part of. But it is also a day when we realize that we will soon have to say goodbye to our loved ones. Before we start to contemplate the future, let us take a moment to appreciate the journey that ends today. For some of us, as you have seen just now, this journey began over a decade ago on this very campus. For others, it has involved moving from place to place. Yet by arriving at the same destination, we will forever share a common history in our foundation. As a devout student of history, I have always pondered the answer to one question: what are the lessons that history has to offer? To this graduating class, it offers 3 lessons. Lesson number 1, diversity is precious. What is diversity? Utofauti, diversité, raznoобразие, doyangxing. Some of us developed an understanding of what it is by traveling to many countries and continents, making friends around the world. Others learn it all from right here at IST. Just think about all the people in this graduating class. Where else would you find a German friend who spent 17 years in Africa, or find an Irish friend who was born in Dubai and grew up in East Asia? Or maybe your response to that cool guy who throws a few words of Hindi at you every now and then is a few words of Dutch. Perhaps what links you, the Liberian, with Nigerian, is something American. Indeed, there can be little doubt that our very own school has been a melting pot for students from all backgrounds, a place where diversity meets its own inspiration. For me, the understanding of diversity came from parents who have always understood the benefits of pluralism, despite being raised under totalitarian conformity. Indeed, our parents have set a great example for us. Unlike us, many of you did not grow up in international schools. In fact, some of you were raised in much humbler conditions than we can imagine. But regardless of your upbringing, you wanted better and more for us. You embraced diversity by sending us to this school and hoping that it will teach us how to live well in this interconnected world. And our success today is a reflection of your astute judgment. We, your children, are eternally grateful for your contribution and wisdom. Mom and Dad, thank you for everything. But it is not just the diversity of experiences and backgrounds that is striking about this class. It is also the diversity of talents and personalities. From athletes who brought us the first ICEA banner home in 4 years, to musicians, yes, we should clap for that. To musicians who perform at Ignite and assemblies, from published writers to service leaders, this graduating class is filled with brilliance. While in many parts of today's world we're seeing a move towards isolation and disengagement, we will be the light of tomorrow that will bring together people from every corner of the earth. Lesson number 2, change can be a good part of life. Perhaps some of us on the stage will remember a Langen Lit Paper 2 mock exam prompt. Nature is fleeting and life is in a state of flux. It is a broadly philosophical statement, but it contains a kernel of truth. In hindsight, here on the stage, the last few years seem so short. Yet in this ostensibly short period of time, we have all changed in unique ways. And I don't just mean glow-ups, although Ronik and Layla are definitely the best in that sense. I also mean the changes that we bring upon ourselves. I mean when we decided that maybe we can live without HL math after that first lesson back in August 2017. I mean when we decided to spend less on going out because we learned that it is harder to earn than it is to spend. I mean when we decided to go after that person who will be the love of our lives, or maybe not. And sometimes change is necessary. Here I quote a living sage among us, known as C. Nicholas Fitzpatrick. If you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. If we want something different, we need to change. Every one of us went through the CAS program, and we were all changed by it. Perhaps your child was the one who did dozens of CAS activities, but then decided to drop a few to focus on her classes and uni applications. And maybe that was the correct decision, because not everyone gets an offer from Edinburgh or Oxford, you know? Of course, we cannot always control change like that. Sometimes it comes as a surprise, such as on an ESP night when you hear that animals crawl into Rishi's tent. Speaking of change, we all want positive change, the kind of change that will make us better off in the long run. Our teachers have played a pivotal role in changing us in that way. Whether we transformed into biologists with ambitions or central knowledge questions, the result is the same. We, your students, have acquired a sharper intellect and a better understanding of how the world works, both in theory and in practice. For example, we historians know that Mr. Remus is playing games with us when she says that she was born in 1957. And with your help, some of us have also discovered what we wish to do with our lives. For everything you have done for us, our teachers, we say thank you. While we have changed, we have also changed those around us. The change makers among us range from those using the creative arts to brighten the lives of Tanzanian children to those who knit knockers that restore the dignity of women. On a smaller scale, perhaps we were good friends who helped our peers with our time and resources, helping them pass the IB. The positive changes we created within our community and beyond should make all of us proud. Lesson number 3, character matters. I remember that Character Matters Too was a little musical we did back in elementary school. Many of us were raised in this environment filled with good values. One of those values that this cohort possesses is grit. We all went through one of the most demanding curricula in the world, the IB diploma program. It takes a lot of patience and effort to complete this program. The unconditional love of our parents and the dedication of our teachers were crucial to this process. So was the support of our siblings, or the ability to deal with annoying siblings. Yes, I know there are some of you out there. And on a more fundamental level, this class is filled with upstanding individuals. During all the years that I have spent in IST, there has never been a real bully in our grade. For those like myself who have had it otherwise, this fact is remarkable. We are one of the most peace-loving cohorts, yet we also have people who speak up passionately for what they genuinely believe in. It is this tolerance and compassion that makes us different. The service leaders among us also embody our common taste for good character. Among us are leaders who empowered Tanzanian girls and organize a Global Issues Service Summit, as well as those who literally fund a child's education every year. These are people who committed countless hours outside of school to improve the lives of others. It is not a coincidence that ASA nominated those on stage today for its Outstanding Service Leaders Award. In a world that bombards us with consumerism and egotism, we have managed to preserve one of the oldest treasures found in every hitherto existing civilization, called communal responsibility. Our school has embedded good character in us, and we will forever cherish this gift. To pay tribute to the art of music, I must say that a good speech is like a good sonata, where the exposition is recapitulated. So remember the 3 lessons that our shared history has to offer. Diversity is precious. Change can be a good part of life, and character matters. With these lessons in mind, We should be proud to deliver this graduating class to the trials and triumphs that lie ahead. However, let me add a coda, because we should never forget the most important lesson. Once a Twiga, always a Twiga. Thank you.
Alright, so we have organized a small performance for you guys. We will be singing Vienna by Billy Joel. We modified the lyrics a bit, changing the word Vienna to the future in order to fit the theme of graduation. Join in if you know the song. Hope you enjoy.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid? Hey, where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in a day. A day. But you know that when the truth is told, that you can get what you want or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize the future waits for you? Slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you wanna be before your time. Although it's so romantic on the borderline tonight. Too bad it's the life you lead. You're so ahead of yourself that you forgot what you need. That you can see when you're wrong, you can't always see when you're right. You're right. You got your passion, you got your pride, but don't you only know that fool
Thank you.
Good afternoon, classmates, parents, and teachers. Today, I stand before you to introduce someone who I consider to be an amazing English teacher, an innovative homeroom teacher, an insightful coach, and most of all, a great friend. Despite only teaching 8 of us, Mr. Goundry has been chosen to speak on behalf of the graduating class of 2019. Thanks to his class's bragging of how great he is as a teacher, but also because he put up with 2 years of hearing us recite summaries from SparkNotes and Schmoop word for word. Mr. Goundry has been there through every step of our IB journey, counseling us and encouraging us. I would now like to welcome to the stage Mr. Tim Goundry.
Thanks, Antonio. Parents, family, teachers, and of course, the class of 2019. I am excited and honored to be speaking here today to help celebrate your graduation from IST. First of all, congratulations! You are high school graduates, and you are officially better educated than high school dropouts Johnny Depp, Walt Disney, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Days like today are important because they allow us to reflect on our achievements and celebrate them with our friends and family. We spend so much of our life thinking or worrying about the next thing, we can sometimes forget to take a moment to acknowledge our accomplishments. Individually and as a group, these accomplishments are truly impressive. The IB diploma is tough. You have to engage with challenging ideas across a wide range of subjects, and just managing your time and keeping your head above water is an achievement. On top of this, you have just completed 3 grueling weeks of exams, not to mention the months and years of studying that preceded them. Exams, in particular, are weird and cruel rituals, and I'm extremely happy I never have to do them again. WTs, IOCs, TOK, EEs, WAs, IOPs, whatever it is you do in maths and science, are gone forever, soon to be replaced with exciting new initialisms and acronyms from your future university or employer. But your achievements go well beyond writing exams and completing assessments. You've learned to think critically about the world around you. You've competed in sporting events, in preparation for which you have had to dedicate hundreds of hours to training so that you can improve as both athletes and leaders. You've created beautiful and thought-provoking works of art and had the bravery to share them with others. You've stood alone on a stage and delivered powerful dramatic performances. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, you've built sets, made costumes, sold tickets, or designed sound and lighting. You've organized conferences involving hundreds of people, raised funds, booked speakers, organized catering and publicity on a scale that would intimidate people much older and more experienced than you. You've supported and enriched your local and global communities through an array of projects working to protect wildlife, to support children with special educational needs, to make prostheses for women who have had breast cancer, and to campaign for human rights. You've achieved a lot. But before I build you up too much, it's worth remembering that by the time she was your age, education campaigner Malala Yousafzai had won the Nobel Peace Prize. Gymnast Simone Biles had won 10 World Championship gold medals, and activist Greta Thunberg had inspired a global campaign to fight the world's impending climate crisis, literally trying to save the world. So, with that in mind, I give you all a solid 7 out of 10 for your efforts so far. Looking forward to seeing more. But It is a great privilege to work with young people and to have the chance to celebrate their successes. As a teacher, you care about all of your students, but there are some groups that you feel particularly connected to, and for me, you are one of these groups. During my first year at IST, I taught half of you, and since then, I've been on various trips with you, coached some of you, taught English literature, and been a homeroom teacher for 12B. I've always been struck by the warmth of IST's community, and you are truly no exception. As a year group, you are kind, you're friendly, and you're very funny. Sometimes even on purpose, but often unintentionally. However, it's important to acknowledge that we as teachers only see a part of your personality in your lives. It's easy for us to see you solely in relation to the subject we teach. As an English teacher, I sometimes fall into the trap of seeing you as little essay machines and forget that you have other things going on, both academically and personally. And more than this, there are several of you here with whom I've never had a proper conversation. So while I can make these broad generalizations about you as a group, I can't really make any claims about you as the complex individuals that you are. My point is that so far I've spoken about these very impressive and very visible achievements, but it is also important to celebrate those less visible accomplishments, the things that your teachers, friends, or even parents might not know about. For some of you, this might be a time when you've had to work up the courage to ask for help. It might be speaking up in front of other people in class and exposing yourself to criticism. It might be struggling with a relationship in or out of school. It might be leaving a previous school, the safety and support of a community you knew well, and having to start again here at IST. It might be managing the stress of exams. It might be having to work harder than everyone else around you just to get the same grade. It might be recovering from an illness or an injury and then fighting to keep up with your studies. It might be having to hold on to someone else's secret or to support a friend going through a difficult time. During your school career, some of you will have lost people close to you. Some of you will have suffered from anxiety and depression. After all, the mental health charity Mind tell us that in any given year, 1 in 4 of us will suffer from some form of mental health problem. For some of you, on some days, just getting up and getting to school will have been an achievement worth celebrating. These are the things that you don't get grades for which there are no trophies or certificates or banners, but which might just be among some of your most significant accomplishments. There is no Nobel Prize for dealing with loss, no Pulitzer for supporting a friend in trouble, and no Oscar for getting out of bed when you just don't feel like facing the world. So, having spoken about your achievements, visible and hidden, it is now time to give you some advice. I've been struggling with this since I was asked to give this speech, firstly because I don't know how you give one piece of advice that's suitable for 56 different people, and secondly because I know a lot about poems, but not a lot about anything else. My first thought was to go for one of the classics, follow your dreams. But when you unpick this a little, it becomes problematic. What if you don't have a dream? What if your dream changes? What if your dream hurts other people? What if you have kids and all of a sudden your own dreams might not seem so important? No, this is bad advice. In desperation, I turned to my colleagues. But they all said the same thing, keep it short. Miss Yates, however, did offer me some more specific advice, telling me to stay in your lane. I thought long and hard and decided that my lane is probably literature. So I turned to one of my favorite writers, Ernest Hemingway, who wrote a poem offering advice to his son. And the poem ends, all your friends will leave you, all your friends will die, so lead a clean and wholesome life and join them in the sky. He's a great writer, but a terrible poet. So, what about the fantastic texts that you all studied in English language and literature? What advice do these timeless classics offer? The Great Gatsby, of course, teaches us that if you buy enough nice shirts, people will love you. Purple Hibiscus teaches us that tea makes an excellent vehicle for poison. Wilfred Owen teaches us that all you need to be a great poet, really, is a great war. And Hamlet teaches us that most Disney films just rip off Shakespeare. Finally, though, and perhaps most importantly, Sophocles teaches us that you should never murder your father and marry your mother. It's undoubtedly good advice. Well, good advice, none of it seemed appropriate for a graduation speech. I was giving up hope on famous writers and the advice they could offer until I went to a poet and a short story writer that I studied when I was your age, and who's probably the reason I became an English teacher. Raymond Carver, throughout his life, struggled with alcoholism, and he died relatively young, but he is one of the world's best writers. In his stories, he takes the ordinary and he makes it extraordinary. He finds beauty even in the most mundane human experiences. In one of his poems, Carver writes, "Happiness, it comes on unexpectedly." So this is the advice I will give to you. Happiness comes on unexpectedly. So when it does come, take the time to notice it. Notice the accomplishments that you're proud of. Notice the things you enjoy doing. Notice the family around you who love and support you. Notice the friends and the partners who are kind and make you happy. I don't care whether or not you follow your dreams, but I do care deeply that you are happy. Happiness comes and goes, but when it's there, notice it. Thank you.
That's hard to follow. Of our outstanding graduates. This award is in the honor of the former board member, B.K. Tana. During a time when IST was experiencing growth, Mr. Tana essentially took up the reins. He had a great understanding of local and expat communities and was instrumental in making IST a better school. The director at the time, Mike Maybury, created the award to honor Mr. Tana's contributions to IST over the years. The student who is awarded the BK Tana has the following qualities: high academic achievement, outstanding effort for academic success, participation, enthusiasm, attitude towards athletic activities, positive class participation, significant contribution to community and social development. Today, I have the great pleasure to speak about a young woman and her fortitude, resiliency, astonishing intelligence, and her innate ability to not only do better, but help others around her be better, all of which exemplify the origins of this award. I met this young woman on a hot September day in 2018 when I was introduced as one of the new track and field coaches for the ICEA track team. I remember being impressed with her attitude and her drive as she ran around and around the green field. Initially, I knew her as an athlete before I knew about her academic prowess. Mr. Goundry, on the other hand, has had the pleasure of being her English teacher and says the following: "She is a sharp, critical thinker, the kind of student who makes me think carefully about my words, so I don't say anything incoherent or stupid. Her writing demonstrates an effortless clarity which only ever is the result of hard work. As you can see from Mr. Goundry's comment, she goes beyond and above in her classes. She and I challenge each other to be better runners and share ideas on how to improve and always cheer each other on. We discuss how much water she is drinking and different life strategies. I've been privileged enough to become her running coach. Our ICEA track and field team traveled to Ethiopia this year. While we were there, she overcame self-doubt and frustration. Since then, she's been able to use those ICEA moments to build a better running career, a better academic career, a better future. This can be seen through the eyes of her history teacher, Ms. Dormius, who says she's incredibly self-aware. She knows where she is strong and where she needs to improve, and she is so kind and easygoing. As you can see, she's a reflective learner. She speaks 3 languages. She has lived in the United States, France, Malaysia, Germany, and Tanzania. I'm forgetting one. She has received high marks on her extended essay about Brexit, which I'm sure we should all read. Mr. Fitz said it best when he wrote, "Her ability to make connections across disciplines and apply them to the world around us challenges me to consider events from multiple perspectives." Mr. Fitz, thank you. You are right, she makes us think beyond our own disciplines. Because of her outstanding effort and academic success, she has an interview with the prestigious school Sciences Po. I say Science is Po, and she makes fun of me. I know she will ace it. Her focus will be political science, and on one of our runs, we have discussed the possibility of going towards an advisory position, wanting to advocate for change. She has made a lasting impact on her community and social development. She has closely worked with TIGO and TEDx. She sets an alarm when she takes a nap, and her snack is an apple when I reach for a cupcake. As Ms. Milne says, Helena is who I'd like to be when I grow up. I think we can all agree with Ms. Milne. It is my great honor to award the prestigious B.K. Tana Award to Helena Van Til.
Okay. A few weeks ago at our leaving assembly, we were able to share the exciting news that along with winning IST's Student Service Leader Award, the Association of International Schools in Africa also chose Dominatha Kabisa and Asia Hasnat as excellent student service leaders in the Africa region for 2019. These 2 young women worked tirelessly, leading a group of their peers to organize an international service conference that saw delegates from Africa, Europe, and the Middle East come together to share ideas and discuss important issues that they face in their communities. The success of this event could not have been what it was if not for the determination, resilience, and love for service that these 2 students showed. We now have your ASA plaques and would ask Domi and Asia to come to the front to receive their ASA awards.
You feel the students' presence in the room. not just because of her height, but because of her smile and positivity lights up any room she enters. This student is a proactive member of the grade and uses her time to multitask to navigate her way through the IB whirlwind of sports, social events, academics, ASAs, and all the other IB-related acronyms. She is a 3-sport star, a great setter in volleyball, has silky footwork in football, and smooth crossovers in basketball. Her cool, calm, level-headed, and team-centric approach does not go unnoticed, and being such an exemplary role model saw her named IST's Female Athlete of the Year. Her science teaching to little Einsteins and her strong stage management skills in high school plays have been impressive. But one area where most people will recognize her talents will be in an events organization and sales and marketing capacity. Anyone who's able to sell prom tickets whilst mumbling ESS vocabulary on the way to an exam must be a great salesperson. She has also been the driving force behind many senior initiatives this year, and hopefully all of you will have had the chance to see one of these on secondary campus, IST's new state-of-the-art Twiga Bajaj. She values her friendships. She is a great listener and gives good advice. And it's safe to say we should all watch out just in case her yearbook prediction does come true, and she actually ends up being our boss one day. It is therefore with great pleasure that I introduce you to our second student speaker, Zaya Karas.
Good afternoon, family, friends, and the class of 2019. I've come to the conclusion that I have absolutely no idea how to feel right now. Happiness, sadness, excitement, all of the above. I wish I could sit here and reminisce about all the time I've spent at IST, from elementary to high school, but I'm not Ronick or Tahia, and I'm still quite new to IST. Having been the child of a foreign service officer, I have moved around from country to country since I was 3 months old. The majority of my middle school and high school years I did, however, spend in Ghana, a nation rich in culture, a nation that's filled with people that strive on happiness and aim to do good. So boy, oh boy, did my parents hear it from me when at the end of 10th grade they told me that I would once again be moving. Little did I know I would have the most amazing time in my new home in Dar es Salaam. Asante, Tanzania, for welcoming me with open arms. And Asante KFC Masaki for all the Oreo crushers. To our families, thank you. You have witnessed us at our best, at our worst, and on the evening of March 1st, AKA on the evening of our TOK essay deadline. I was Mara. You've been that constant in our lives, keeping us grounded through all the IAs, FOAs, IOCs, IOPs, EE, and any other acronym that IB dared to throw our way. Mama, Papa, you have taught me the value of respect, and for that, I will forever be grateful. Zena, my shorter but older sister, thank you for everything. Bottom line, our loved ones have been a crucial piece in this part of our lives and will continue to be in the next. We apologize for the attitude and the whining, but the IB makes us moody. We love you, and we promise to call at least once, maybe twice a week. To our teachers, I hope that when you look back at the class of 2019, you remember the fresh 11th graders, eager to learn and absorb all the new knowledge you threw our way, and not the students infected with the oh-so-dreadful case of senioritis that we have been these last few months. Thank you to each and every one of you for the extensions, putting up with our at times questionable excuses as to why our homework is not done, and for not ratting us out for wearing ripped jeans. Back when I was in high school, there was no better motivation than that of a teacher that wanted to see you succeed. So thank you, IST teachers. Your faith in us, your encouragement, and your constant push enabled us all to be right here on this stage this afternoon. And Ms. Watson, thank you so much for the shortcut from the courtyard to the Learning Commons. I don't think you understand how much we appreciate not having to make that extra 30-second walk. Now, to the 55 beautiful souls behind me, that is if Maya and Zombie aren't running late. I was lucky enough to have spent my last 2 years of high school alongside this bright, driven, funny, stubborn group of individuals. Thank you to each and every single one of you for studying alongside me as we pulled each other through the treacherous IB. So I'm supposed to speak to you guys about where to go from here, but truth is, I have no idea where to go from here, and I really hope you guys don't either. But to the best of my newly acquired IB knowledge, I don't think we are supposed to know what to do next. Well, for right now at least. All that I do know is we cannot forget the content of our courses. With all the blood, sweat, and tears we have put into these few years, you guys better remember every single note you took for at least a few more months. We are not letting this go to waste. I remember all that talk about how as soon as exams finish, we're gonna burn all our notes. But low-key, I know no one is burning anything, except for Zandra. We gave up way too much time taking, retaking, and if you're Noah or Mathilde, retaking months worth of content. But besides the notes, we cannot forget the memories, the relationships we have built along the way. African-American poet and author, shout out to Mr. Goundry, once wrote, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." I want you guys to look to the person to your left, and then to your right. That looked pretty cool. That looked pretty cool. We have all impacted each other in one way or another. Each and every one of you up here has played a part in someone's high school story. Sadly, this story is coming to an end, but the relationships and the memories we've made along the way will never fade. The arguments, the frustration, and all the stress is just part of the ride. Maybe we should make one more poll on the Facebook page, just for old time's sake. Maybe have a few more arguments in the comments section. What's our walk-in song again? Barbie Girl? And whatever happened to the class of 2019 toilet paper rolls? We have been lucky enough to grow up and learn in classrooms filled with people and cultures from all around the world. Yes, as we've just seen, George speaks about 5 languages and counting. However, this diversity is what ultimately differentiates us from others. We have learned to accept each other for our differences, to listen to those who voice opinions that contrast with ours, and to collaborate to attain mutual goals. Goals like when Rishi from Tanzania, Zola from Kenya, Norway, and Holland, and Tayo from Nigeria collaborated to lift Miss Milne from Canada and throw her into the pool a few weeks back. Nations working together, diversity coming in handy. In the coming weeks, as we all spread out across the globe, I want you to remember this, guys. Remember the look on Miss Milne's face as we pulled her out of the pool. But more importantly, remember that diversity is our strength. Seize every opportunity presented to you and don't take anything for granted. Life is full of opportunity, but nothing will be handed to you. Let your values and ambitions inspire those around you. Worst that can happen is you fail miserably. Kind of like that calculus test we took a while back. Sorry, Mr. Fosgreen. But guess what? We all make mistakes. Let them shape us to become who we are supposed to be. Don't run away from them. Embrace your mistakes and become better. In doing so, you must never strive for perfection. No one knows what perfection is or whether it even exists. Ooh, TOK. What do we know and how do we know it? I've never been taught by Mr. Fitz, but some very close friends of mine have told me that no matter how many drafts you hand in, he will always give it back to you with more annotations than the previous one. No IA or written task will ever be perfect, no matter how many times we read the rubric. So strive to make yourself better, not to make yourself perfect. Right now, well, when you leave the ceremony, don't forget to realize the things you're going to miss. The people, the places. We miss things because they are important, because they have impacted us. So in a few months, when we leave behind our friends, families, and for many of you, the only place you have ever called home, embrace the act of missing. It will only push you to cherish the memories and appreciate the relationships you've built along the way. Watch the class of 2019 miss things as simple as rushing to homeroom before Miss Cusson can give that just because you're seniors does not mean you don't have to be on time, cough, cough, Tahia, cough, cough, Layla. Making that absolutely necessary pit stop to the canteen to get popcorn between classes, even after the thing they did with the chocolate. Hashtag only a food lover's canteen. Or even just having to push through a swarm of secondary schoolers at the end of every day because they still will not let us stand outside the gate. See, missing doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's what ultimately makes us appreciate the little things. Maybe missing is what will lead this class back together. Maybe we'll miss the red bricks and the rusty Twiga statue of the courtyard so much that in 2 years, in 10, or in 20, we'll organize a little reunion just to remember all the crazy high school stories. ESPs, ICEAs, Asia and Domi's just breakdowns. Finally, if all fails, just be like Margaret, guys. I spoke about how diversity is our strength, but there is one thing that every member of the class of 2019 does have in common. We all start our day by walking into school as Margaret greets us with the world's biggest smile, wishing us a good morning. And that is exactly what we need to do. Not try and beat Margaret's good mornings, because those will never be topped, but smile. See, this class is special. And I don't just mean because we have the world's next best cricket player, Ahil, and hands down the best calves anyone has ever seen, Helena. But it is special because we will take the world by storm. And by the looks of things right now, the world needs it. We are the future. Doctors, teachers, scientists, athletes, and much more. Class of 2019, smile when you succeed and smile even harder when you fail. Not one of those closed-mouth smiles we do on picture day, but one of those Jash smiles from when his favorite song plays on his speaker during lunch. One of those Bila smiles from when he realizes he didn't do his English homework. But we have a sub. One of those Muhammad smiles when he knows Shala is aching to hit him for a snarky comment he made, but she can't because there's a teacher around. Maybe that Ronick smile from when he scored his first goal of the season, even though he tried to play it off like he wasn't just as hyped as the rest of the crowd was. And if you're feeling ambitious, attempt a Margaret smile. See, a smile is audacious. With that smile, each and every one of you is a force to be reckoned with. Being able to fall down and not only stand up, but stand up and smile shows that you're willing to try again. Failure means you are one step closer to success. Now, I have no idea where I got this quote from, but as I sat trying to figure out, one, how I got myself in a position where I was going to have to speak in front of over 100 audience members, and two, what exactly I was going to say, it was the first line that came to mind. People come and go, but some stay in our hearts forever. So thank you, class of 2019. Each and every one of you, in your own way, will stay in somebody's heart forever. Now, it's time to celebrate. As I was up to no good one day, one of my very favorite people told me, Zaya, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. So parents, a little heads up. We might be asking for forgiveness after the celebrations ahead, because the class of 2019 just made it. Thank you.
I have the honor and pleasure of presenting this year's ASA Award for Excellence to an extremely deserving member of the class of 2019. ASA, the Association of International Schools in Africa, created this award in 2008, and this is the third year that IST has participated. ASA schools nominate a student who they feel is worthy of the award, and the ASA Board of Directors confirms successful candidates. As I read the criteria to you, you'll see why this has become one of our premier awards here at IST. Award winners promote a school environment that is characterized by a sense of hospitality and friendliness, collegiality, and community among students and between students and staff. The student demonstrates by example the concept of service to the human family, either within or outside the school environment. The student seeks to understand, appreciate, and promote African cultures through service activities, participation in cultural events, or personal expression through African literature, languages, music, art, or dance. And the student embraces a worldview which celebrates human unity and diversity. This year's winner is an outstanding student who demonstrates a true joy for learning. She's a talented musician, and someone who seeks out challenges inside the classroom and outside. These past 2 years, she has worked to take an already stable organization to another level by raising the level of excellence and increasing the number of participants. According to Miss Evie, this individual is passionate about doing. The passion doesn't come from completing tasks or ticking boxes. It comes from making a difference. In this case, making a difference in the lives of teenage girls. Miss Evie tells a story at the beginning of grade 11 where this student organized a reflection board for participants of the Teen Girls Organization, TIGO, to allow these girls to share their thoughts and stories. It was while reading these stories that she realized that TIGO could be a positive influencer in their lives. Learning about these girls' stories, she developed an even stronger passion in her quest to make a difference. While in the past, the group's events would attract around 20 girls for smaller events and 100 girls for the larger ones, this year's events grew to 70 and as large as 250. She had a strong desire to reach a greater number of teens, and this required the organization to scale up. The types of questions she was asking was, how can we reach out to and impact more girls in the community? This year, the group organized life skills workshop, a football clinic, computer literacy workshops, and a career fair. While seeking out connections in the Tanzanian community, the group recruited a school group from Bagamoyo. This group of private school girls are girls that have been expelled from public school. After learning about these girls' stories, they realized that the families needed financial support to pay the tuition. This year's winner has taken that idea, and things are in place for a scholarship program to begin next year. She also realized the importance of partnerships with IST and outside individuals and organizations to expose the girls to accomplished and talented Tanzanians, especially females. I'm pleased to announce that this year's ASA Award for Excellence goes to Selena Mehta.
Dr. Hardiman, Dr. Peterson, and members of the Board of Directors. It is my great privilege and honor to present the 2019 candidates for graduation from the International School of Tanganyika. These students have completed all of the requirements for the IST High School Diploma based on satisfactory completion of requirements. The faculty and I recommend that they be granted their diplomas and be declared graduates of the International School of Tanganyika for 2019. Laith Saif Ali Saif Al Hosni. Laith plans. I forgot to mention, please hold applause until they take the photo in the middle. Laith plans to take a gap year to experience working. His favorite memory of his time at IST is spending time with his friends during breaks. Lake would like to thank his parents, his friends, and teachers for all their support.
Anmol Kaur Atwal. Anmol is planning to attend the University of Birmingham in the UK to study accounting and finance. Her favourite memories at IST are hanging out with her friends at the IB Lounge, being part of the TEDx team and taking part in the amazing race with her friends. Anmol would like to thank her family, friends and teachers for the support throughout her final years at IST.
Sam Bachman. Sam is going to attend Utrecht University to study media and culture. His favorite memory would be going sailing with one of his close friends to Bongoyo Island. He'd like to thank his parents for their unwavering support and Mr. George for helping him with his EE and IAs.
Tahia Dati Bade. Tahia plans to attend the University of British Columbia this fall, where she will be pursuing a psychology degree. One of her favourite memories was engaging in community and service events at school. She would like to thank her parents and brothers for supporting her through her last few years of high school, and the Aman and O'Sullivan family for their kindness and hospitality.
Nola Benson. Nola will be taking a gap year to volunteer at animal shelters and to work in conservation. In September of 2020, she will attend Nottingham Trent University to study wildlife conservation. Her favorite memories are the trips to ICEA and the biology ESP. She would like to thank her parents and her sister and her friends for their continuous love and support. She would like to thank Ms. Thompson, Ms. Plackmeyer, and Ms. Bizot for their help, and Coach Thompson and Coach Dassey for their dedication to the basketball team.
Bila Bazold. Bila Bazold is going to study in the Netherlands at the Design Academy Eindhoven, where he hopes to become a product designer. His favourite memory at IST took place on the Geography ESP trip at around 1 a.m. He's sorry, Miss Watson. Bila would like to take this time to thank his teachers for teaching him, his friends for providing balance or sometimes procrastination in his life, and his mum, dad, and sister for encouraging him not to procrastinate.
Pusha Bosali. Pusha plans on attending Utrecht University to study liberal arts and sciences. Her favorite memory at IST was when she and her friends went on a weekend trip to Zanzibar. Pusha would like to thank her teachers, especially Ms. Plackmeyer, for all the positivity and encouragement. She also wants to thank her parents and sister for making every day unlike any other, and her friends for all the late nights and endless beach days.
Antonio Coelho Luna. Antonio is planning to study international relations and law at the University of Navarra in Pamplona, Spain. His favourite memories at IST were ICEA volleyball and playing doubles with his brother at ICEA tennis. He would like to thank his parents, brother, sister and grandparents for all of their support.
Omatayo Olusolo Cole. Tayo is planning to attend Townsend University to study kinesiology and possibly go into the field of physical therapy. His favorite memory of IST is joining the school and creating new friendships. Tayo would like to thank everyone that has been a part of his high school journey for their support and for being a great family to him.
Anastasia Afghani Dal. Anastasia will be studying psychology at Leiden University in the Netherlands. Her favourite memory is Saturday morning coffees with her friends. She would like to thank her mum for being her best friend, her dad for sharing his love for good music with her, and her brother for being the brightest light in her life.
Riaz Dawood. Reyes is planning to take a business management course. His favorite memory at IST was when he went on the grade 11 Geography ESP to Morogoro. Reyes would like to thank his teachers, friends, and most importantly, his family for their immense support.
Mohammed Danani. Mohammed is planning to study automotive engineering in Canada. His favourite memory from IST was creating the IST meme page, as it exposed him to many funny photos of people from IST. He would like to thank his parents and teachers for helping him improve his learning and helping him complete his IB courses.
Kanengo Rebecca Diallo. Kanengo plans on attending the University of Oxford to study English literature. Two of her favorite memories at IST were International Day and Kiswahili Week. She is grateful for this multicultural community that she has been a part of for the past 12 years. She would like to thank her teachers and family for the constant support and encouragement that she's received over the past 2 years.
Zola Haldorsen. Zola plans to take a gap year to attend Groningen Sports Academy in Norway to hone his skills in football. His favourite memory in his 7 years at IST was winning ICEA volleyball this year with the boys' team in Mozambique. He would like to thank his family, friends and teachers for their support. Also, he would like to thank his dogs, Bob and Marley, for always being there for him.
Asia Hasnat. Asia is still uncertain of where she is going, but knows she wants to fulfill a career in the communication stream. As for her favorite memory, it was a social dinner at GISS because it reminded her how sad you can be one moment and happy the next, and that there are always people to support you. Asia would like to thank her parents for the opportunity for moving to Tanzania and her friends for making the last 2 years of high school memorable.
Shala Begum Hirani. Shala is planning to attend the University of Loughborough in the UK to study media and communication. Her favourite memory of IST was taking part in the TEDx Youth at Upanga conferences and also attending the Thyman conference in 2018. She would like to thank her family and friends for their continued support, encouragement and guidance, as well as her teachers for always pushing her to achieve higher.
Yu Huang. Yu, James, is planning to attend the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Australia to study commerce and information systems. His favorite memory at IST was when he and his friends summited Kilimanjaro to Uhuru Peak. James would like to thank his parents for the support and his teachers, especially Mr. Goundry and Ms. Plackmeyer, for organizing memorable activities for homeroom.
Ruhina Mustak Ishmael. Ruhina is planning to attend Trent University in Canada to pursue a dual degree in neuroscience and psychology. Her favourite memory at IST was her grade 11 ESP trip. Ruhina would like to thank her family and friends for their love and endless support.
Malika Jaffer. Malika is planning to attend university in the UK to study structural engineering. Her favorite memories at IST were from the homeroom games held on Thursdays. Melina would like to thank her family and her teachers for making the IB a fruitful experience.
Tova Jansen. Tova will take a gap year to get work experience and to explore the world. Tova's favourite memory from her time at IST is all the friends she made along the way. She would like to thank Miss Clark and Annalena Olsen for helping her to push through, and she also wants to thank her family, Mum, Dad, Vilma and Fabian for always being supportive of her.
Ahil Aizaz Jassani. Ahil aspires to be a professional cricketer for the Tanzanian national team in the near future. He is considering a program in accounting at Deakin University in Melbourne. His favorite memory at IST was receiving appreciation and accolades for his cricket achievements in the assembly. Ahil would like to thank his friends David, George, Nadoka, and James for being there for him at all times, and to also express his gratitude to all of his teachers for the constant support and his parents for their unconditional love.
Jash Pratish Kara. Jash is planning to attend Western University in Ontario, Canada, to study mechatronic engineering. His favourite memory at IST was any time he and his friends were together, whether it be at school or over the weekends. Josh would like to thank his family for their support, as well as his late grandfather for everything he did for the family.
Zaya Karras. Zaya will be attending American University in Washington, D.C. next year. She is going in undecided, but plans to end up majoring in law. Her favorite moments at IST have been the amazing ICEA trips she has attended. Zaya would like to thank her family and friends for their continuous advice and support.
Hazel Kevlihan. Hazel will be going to Wellesley College in Boston next year. Her favourite memory from IST is performing as a mermaid in Peter and the Starcatcher last year. She'd like to thank her family and friends for their support throughout the IB and for making Dar feel like home.
Motatiro Dominatha Kabisa. Dami is planning to attend university in September, but still hasn't decided where. Her favorite memory at IST was when she was able to plan an international conference with her friends. Dami would like to thank her parents for the continuous support and her friends for trying and failing to make plans where everyone arrives on time.
Nodoka Kudo. Nodoka plans to go to university in Japan, where he aspires to study information technology. His favorite memory at IST was the ESP trip to Lazy Lagoon last year. Nodoka would like to thank all of his teachers for helping him reach the point where he is now. He also wants to thank his parents for supporting him financially and spiritually for 18 years. While he is still not done draining a few more dollars from his parents' purse, he hopes he has become a worthy investment.
Hasita Lakani. Hasita is planning to attend the University of Edinburgh in Scotland to study psychology and business. Her favorite memory at IST was being on the organizing team for the 10th Annual Global Issues Service Summit and being an organizer for the Dar es Salaam Model United Nations. Hasita would like to thank her family, friends, teachers, and especially her sister for their constant support.
Mahima Lalji. Mahima is planning to attend the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada. She would like to thank her family for the ongoing support, as well as her teachers for making her time at IST so memorable.
Artemi Janneke Manthiakis. Artemi will be studying philosophy, politics, and economics at Utrecht University in the Netherlands. Her favorite memories at IST include slaving away endless nights, working and crying with her friends about the IB. Artemis would like to thank her sister, Leandro, for her annoying hugs, and for her parents for tolerating her unending complaining about school, and most importantly, for their endless sacrifices and support, because without them, she wouldn't be able to walk across this stage today.
Selena Metha. Next year, Selena will be studying neuroscience at the University of St Andrews. One of her favourite memories at IST was the 12B Plackmeyer Goundry Ultimate Thursday Quiz Cup. Selena would like to thank her sisters for lighting up every day and her parents for all their love and support. She would also like to especially thank Ms. Cusson and Ms. Evie for inspiring and challenging her to always do and be her best.
Samantha Miller. Sam will be attending the university in the UK to study social work. Her favorite memories from IST were made in the grade 9-10 ATL classes. She would like to say a massive thank you to her mom and dad, who never stopped supporting her even when she was stubborn and grumpy. She'd also like to thank her friends for all the love and jokes they gave that kept her going. Lastly, she'd like to thank Molly, Nala, Bella, Major Tom, and Lily for the cuddles that made any day better.
Shreya Kirit Murug. Shreya is planning to attend UCL to study information management and business. Her favourite memory from her time at IST are all the teachers she's encountered and friends she's made in the last 2 years. She would like to thank her parents, her sister, and her friends for all their unconditional love and support in her journey.
Ronald Ntenga. Ronald is planning to study aerospace engineering in the United States. He has many fond memories over the past 2 years, including time spent with friends, playing basketball, and laughing during lunch breaks. He is thankful for his mom and teachers for always believing in him and being there to support him.
David Murphy. David plans to go to UCD in Ireland next year to study in the field of business. His favourite memory at IST was his geography internal assessment trip. He would like to thank his parents for their endless, unwavering support. He would also like to thank the philosophers for the lively lunch debates and their continuous friendship.
Zainab Muntazir Musa. Zainab is planning to attend university in Toronto, Canada, to pursue her career in psychology. Her favorite memories were made during ESP trips, and she will always cherish them forever. Zainab would like to thank her parents, friends, and teachers for their support.
Ikupa Keala Elias Moakalinga. Ikupa Keala is planning to attend the Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago, USA to study architecture. Her favorite memory at IST was when she and her friends helped Mama Mushi organize the Swahili Week. She would like to thank her friends and sisters for their support, as well as her teachers and friends.
Henning Nelbach. Henning is planning to attend a course at Wirtgen, a partner company of John Deere, in which he'll become an industrial mechanic. He would like to especially thank his parents and sister for helping him out whenever they could. He also wants to thank his best friend Alvaro and the Velez bunch. He loves you guys. Finally, he wants to thank Medita for always being for him, as well as his gratefulness towards his friends, teachers, and the phenomenal parent community that organized all those yummy events at school.
Layla O'Sullivan. Layla is planning to attend the University of Loughborough in England to study international relations. Her favourite memories at IST were the endless team bonding and trainings which led up to ICEA football. Layla would like to thank her parents and her brother for supporting her throughout her years at IST.
Alexandra Penanen-Cook. Sandra will be taking a gap year as she considers her next steps after high school. Her favorite memory from her time at IST is the geography ESP, and she would like to thank her parents and brother for everything.
Nana Poulsen. Nana will be taking a gap year in which she will be gaining work experience and exploring more of the world. Her favourite moment was waking up at 6 a.m. for spinning and doing cast reflections. She would like to thank her family, Ben, and the class of 2019 for making her years at IST truly memorable.
Noah Kvarals van Oeford. Noah is planning to attend the International Honors College of Leiden University in the Netherlands, where she is planning to major in governance, economics, and development. She is truly grateful for the lifetime of memories she has made with her friends and family in these 2 short years at IST. Noah would like to thank the irreplaceable friends she has made these past 2 years, her teachers, and most of all, her family for the love and support.
Zamina Rajabali. Zamina will be studying international business at the University of Toronto. Her favourite memory at IST was organising the TEDx Youth Conference here at Upanga. She would like to thank her friends, teachers and parents for their endless support.
Mathilde Roberge. Mathilde is planning to attend University of Ottawa in Canada to study biomedical sciences and then medicine. Her favorite memory at IST was a biology ESP trip in 11th grade. Mathilde would like to thank all of her friends, her family and her teachers, especially Ms. Plackmeyer and Ms. Clark, for their continuous support and encouragement.
Kanika Sagar. Kanika is planning to go to India to study psychology. Her favorite memory was when she went for her Spanish trip to Barcelona in grade 11 and her ESP trip. Kanika would like to thank her friends, teachers, and parents, for the support they have given, especially to Miss Plackmeyer for helping her and supporting her all the time.
Medita Helen Schwartz. Medita is planning to do a social year in Germany working at a hospital. Her favorite memory is any time at the beach, specifically South Beach. She wants to thank her family, especially her mom for always putting up with her and supporting her no matter what, and her 2 brothers for always making her smile. Finally, she wants to thank her friends for all the love and support.
Jae Hyuk Shin. Jae Hyuk, or Jason, is planning to attend Coventry University to study automotive and transportation design. His favourite memories at IST are when he attended ICEA Volleyball in 2017 and performed with Symphonies for Change, especially at GIST 2019. Jae Hyuk would like to thank his family for the support and the whole of grade 12 for making school more enjoyable. He wants to specially thank his closest friends, Bila, Jash, Mohammed, Henning, Alvaro, Nola, Asia, Shreya, Tova, Zandra, and the members of Symphonies for Change.
Maya Somaya. Maya is planning to study marine biology in Australia in the year of 2020. Her favorite memories are participating and representing the school in ICEA and GISS. She would like to thank her family and friends for their support over the years.
Rishi Somaya. Rishi is planning to attend the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada, to study business and entrepreneurship. He's been part of the IST community for 8 years now, and his favourite memories include taking part in ICEA tennis, organising the amazing race, and most importantly, break times with his friends. He would like to thank his parents, especially his mum, for her constant support.
Ronak Tanil Somaya. Ronak is planning to attend the University of Loughborough in the UK to study industrial design. His favorite memory at IST was scoring his first goal for the Twiga in front of the home crowd and getting the chance to represent IST at ICEA. Ronak would like to thank his parents, grandma, and sisters for the continuous support, and his teachers, especially Miss Evie, for pushing him to achieve higher and being there for him since grade 9.
Hina Riaz Somji. Hina is planning to go to Canada to study psychology. Her favourite memory at IST was making new friends, going on ESPs, and having free lessons off chemistry class. Hina would like to thank her parents, brothers, and her teachers for all the support and for always encouraging her.
Filderos Filton Swai. Filderos is planning to take a gap year and dedicate it to exploring new experiences that will push her to grow as a person with the help of all the knowledge she's gained from IST. Her favorite memory were the biology ESP trips to Lazy Lagoon. Filderos would like to thank the IST community for the love and support they gave her in the past 2 years. She would also like to thank her parents, siblings, friends, and teachers. She wishes all the very best to her peers and dares them to keep moving forward.
Nick Hill Tama. Nick Hill is planning to attend Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University in Virginia, United States, to study architecture. His favourite memory at IST were the ESPs, where he got to make new friends and create unique memories. Nick Hill would like to thank all his teachers, friends, and family who made his high school experience an amazing one.
Shreya Tuladar. Shreya will be attending Minneapolis College of Art and Design in Minnesota to study graphic design. Her favorite memories at IST were when she was a part of the leadership team for the 10th anniversary of the ASA Global Issue Service Summit and her 10th grade Crater Highlands ESP trip with her friends. Shreya would like to thank her parents, friends, and teachers, especially her brother and sister, for their endless love and support.
Helena Francisca Van Thiel. Helena is planning to attend the University of Amsterdam to study political science. Her favourite memory at IST was being part of the track and field team. She would like to thank her parents for their care and support from near and far, her siblings for reminding her to laugh, her friends for making Dar feel like home, and all her teachers and coaches for their hard work and dedication. She would especially like to thank Miss Thompson, who was there when she stepped off the track and so much longer beyond that.
Alvaro Vélez de Sasa. Alvaro is planning to attend the University of Bath to study business administration. He wants to especially thank his parents, Elena and Alfonso, and his 3 brothers, Gon, Cito, and Juli, for always being there for him. He also wants to thank his best friend, Henning, and the Naubachs for being his second family. Finally, Alvaro wants to express his gratitude to his outstanding teachers, beloved friends, and his football family for all the memories and support.
Zizun Zhou. Zizun will be attending the University of Chicago, where he plans to major in economics and political science. His favourite memory at IST was when he climbed Kilimanjaro with his peers. Zizun would like to thank his parents and sisters for their unconditional love, and his teachers, especially Mr. Fitzpatrick and Ms. Doremus, for their tremendous support.
Graduates, would you please rise? Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to present to you the graduates of the class of 2019 of the International School of Tanganyika. Graduates, please join me in the ceremonial move of our tassels to the left. As student class president, and with the acknowledgement of IST's administration and board, I now pronounce us official graduates. Congratulations!